Hey everybody, it's Gail, and this is Errata-Hate episode 46, and this is going to be an episode about a very tiny but useful tool, which is a yarn guide. So this is 100% plastic. Let me pop it off my finger. It's got a little adjustable ring here. It pops open real easy. And this is from Knit Picks. I got mine from Knit Picks, but they're everywhere. Like, you can find them, at any craft store, I'm sure. And the idea of a yarn strand is that you're going to do a lot of color work. And so what you would do is you pop it open, you take a strand of yarn, you put it through, you close it, and then you can pull the yarn through and it stays separated. So, like, say I have this yellow, and then I'm also working with this gray, which clearly different weights, but this is the yarn I had near me. So you would work with the yellow, and then when you get to the end of the place where you're working with the yellow, you would cut off, and then you would just pick up the gray. And so the idea behind this is that it keeps your yarn, neat while you're working on a project that's going to be a little complicated. I have not personally managed to get super good at using it for color changes, because of course part of this is that you're actually going to strand your yarn correctly around your hand, which I don't do. I've never shown that. I always make sure to, wind it correctly when I'm doing techniques and stuff, but actually it's very common for me to just let my yarn hang down, because at one point I had been stitching so much, my pinky was very sore, and I kind of got into that habit and have not broken it, and I really should. But the thing is, you can see, I've got it wound here, and like it goes nice and smooth. And I really like this, because it does keep things separated. It makes it easy to find the end of things. To give you a sense of what I'm working on right now, this is a corner-to-corner scarf that's going to spell out a phrase, so it has all these ends on it, and it's what I would use. It's the project I was using to sort of test this out as a color change. And if I held my yarn correctly and kept my tension good that way, it would be amazing. Like, even when I was sort of half-assing it and sort of pushing the yarn over to the other side or whatever, it still, I could still get control of my yarn very easily. I don't have a bulky weight yarn in front of me right now, but I can tell you that I tried a bulky weight yarn on this little thing, and it fits perfectly like a super bulky. So that fits. So every size yarn, I would say, outside of like arm crochet and arm knitting weights, are going to fit through this. The other great thing is that it's about $3, and they tend to run between like 3 and 5. So it's a very inexpensive tool that can do you a lot of good if you do color change. Although there's another reason I really like it, and that is this right here. That is my callus from all the crochet that I do. It's not usually super irritated like this. Like, I just finished working on a project. I put it down to film this. But, like, that's what it looks like on a really good day. And it doesn't hurt. It's not a problem. But there are times, if I'm going real fast, because maybe I'm under deadline, that I have really made this a very sensitive area. And so just being able to have this so that I can put a piece of yarn through it so it's not irritating that spot is also super nice. So I will put a link to Knit Picks down in the basement if you're curious about this. Also, whatever craft store you have near you, like, hit up their website, see if they have one. I know Joann's has a couple, because that's the one I always go to. I don't know why I don't go to Michael's. We have one, but I just don't. But yeah, I think it's a really great one. This is plastic. It's held up really nicely for about the month that I've had it. Also, this was bought with Patreon funds, so thank you, patrons, for letting me be able to get my hands on one of these. And that's really it. I think it's a nice little tool. I mean, you're probably going to lose it 8 times. It's fallen off my couch like a dozen. Hasn't fallen under the couch yet, so pretty happy about that. I hate moving the couch. But yeah, so little yarn guide, very handy little tool. And as always with Errata-Hate, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, please consider subscribing, sharing, and, if you don't give to my Patreon, that's cool. I get it. Like, But if you find yourself with an extra dollar a month and you would like to give to my Patreon so I can keep building what I do here, that would be awesome. So that's my usual pitch at the end of an episode, and I will see you all for episode 47.